ये वही हैं, ये प्रश्न उठाने वाले लोग वही हैं जो लोग आज श्री राम जन्मभूमि में चोरी के बारे में इतना हो हल्ला कर रहे हैं। याद करना, श्री राम जन्मभूमि मंदिर के बारे में प्रश्न उठा रहे हैं। घटना जो भी घटित हुई दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण थी और ट्रस्ट के द्वारा जो सिफारिश की गई उसके अनुसार, जो अनुरोध किया गया उसके अनुसार एक एसआईटी उसकी जांच कर रही है, उस पर कार्रवाई भी हो रही है, उसमें कोई वो नहीं। प्रश्न ये उठता है कि जिसमें एक जांच एजेंसी पहले से जांच करके कार्रवाई कर रही है और उसके अनुरूप ट्रस्ट ने कार्रवाई भी प्रारंभ की है, नैतिक आधार पर भी इस्तीफा दिए और उस पर प्रश्न उठाए जा रहे हैं और सीधे सीधे आस्था की खिलवाड़ की बात हो रही है। आस्था के साथ खिलवाड़ हो रहा, हिंदू धामों पर प्रहार हो रहे हैं। एक तरफ वह लोग हैं और आस्था की बात वे लोग कर रहे हैं।
At 7 p.m. of this is exclusive. The China CPM CJP controversy. Why did left MPs meet CJP and the Chinese embassy around the same time? Coming up at 7.
Co-powered by Crystal Crop Protection. देश का किसान, देश का हीरो।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ और
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ, स्वाद आया? आया।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
AU सेविंग्स अकाउंट में मिलते हैं अमेजिंग बेनिफिट्स, पेपरलेस बैंकिंग एंड हायर इंटरेस्ट, वो भी हर महीने।
मनी 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 एवरी मंथ।
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
प्यास बुझाए, ठंडक लाए, सबको भाए जीरा से। MTH का जल जीरा, जीरा से।
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
MTH।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
यानी इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ और
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े। चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
Ladies and gentlemen, we suspect that Pakistan is back to its old and dirty tricks again, and we have proof which has come with us that they are planning some terrorism in response to our firm decision to keep the Indus Waters Treaty in abeyance. Now, we've kept the Indus Waters Treaty in abeyance post-Pahalgam because that is what they deserve. These are of Lashkar terrorists being trained with some hyperbolic jihadi music in the background. And they are being trained by the Lashkar-e-Toiba. This footage has come out. They are being trained by a US-designated Lashkar terrorist called Haris Dar. And these are all Lashkar terrorists. They are being trained, and they are being trained in dams, in waters of dams in Pakistan. And he is addressing these water jihad recruits in front of a water body, and he says, "Agla step hamara dam mein aata hai, Mangla Dam mein. Our issue over water is with India." And then he wants and says, something bigger is going to happen in 2026. That's the video of him on the right, where he says something big is going to happen over the water issue in 2026. Then he's parroting the line of the Pakistani government. Remember, the man on the right is not just any fanatic. He's a US designated, very well-known Lashkar-e-Toiba commander, training what is being called as a water force and preparing them to attack India from a new front. And he's saying repeatedly that 2026 something big is coming. Therefore, this is clear proof that Pakistan is intending to carry out terrorism, targeting India's water resources and water storage. That is an absolutely logical conclusion that we can draw from that footage out there. Let me give you a few names to truly hammer in how dangerous the situation is. Sajid Mir, Hafiz Saeed, Masood Azhar, Dawood Ibrahim. History is repeating itself in the most dangerous way possible. Ladies and gentlemen.
At 7 p.m. on This Is Exclusive, the China CPM CJP controversy. Why did left MPs meet CJP and the Chinese embassy around the same time? Coming up at 7. At 7 p.m. on This Is Exclusive, the China CPM CJP controversy. Why did left MPs meet CJP and the Chinese embassy around the same time? Coming up at 7.
Karamji, I was completely flabbergasted, and then he also smiled and said, "Ye badi changi kudi hai." And then I always thought ki if I marry, I must marry somebody like him.
Is it true that you completely fell in love with him when you saw him dance to that?
Completely fell in love क्या होता है?
I don't know. I don't know.
Love तो love होता है ना?
Thank you for joining us at 7 p.m. on This Is Exclusive, ladies and gentlemen. Today we brought you a story in just 2 pictures. And in those 2 pictures were 2 people. Dipke of the CJP, that's him, seen with senior left leader M.A. Baby. Harmless picture, but there is also a picture which follows up of the same leaders meeting the Chinese diplomats, the Chinese envoys, and it raises many, many questions. We have many questions. We'll ask you those questions and whether you have the same thoughts when you look at those pictures. All that and more coming up on the show. Here are the headlines, 7 p.m. on This Is Exclusive. Controversy over left leaders meeting CJP, also meeting Chinese envoys within a few days. Is there a China link? Days before Parliament session, questions raised over leaders of the left, parliamentarians included, meeting CJP and China.
Does it make sense that you go to the CJP protest first and then you go to the Chinese embassy for an event? So, but please tell us. So, but this is important, sir. This is about national security. Sir, I'm not misbehaving. Sir, this is a national security issue. Sir, please tell us, sir, what are your China links? How does that make sense that you go to the CJP protest first and then you go to the Chinese embassy for an event? Sir, but please tell us. So, but this is important, sir. This is about national security. Sir, I'm not misbehaving. Sir, this is a national security issue. Sir, please tell us, sir, what are your China links? How does that make sense that you go to the CJP protest first?
That's MA Baby of the left, senior leader of the left, asking BJP, asking Republic TV not to misbehave. When we ask him questions on why he attended both the CJP event followed up by the Chinese event.
पूरा बलोच इलाका पाकिस्तान के इख्तियार से निकल चुका था। आज भी वहां पर पाकिस्तान हुकूमत की कोई रिट मौजूद नहीं है। अब तो पश्तून इलाका भी खून में नहा रहा है।
Pakistan government, Shehbaz Sharif, Asim Munir have their backs to the wall. Even Pakistani netas are now openly questioning them. Munir gets an open dare from Pakistani politicians to drop his uniform and contest elections if he can. Tomorrow is the D-Day, the Muzaffarabad March. Will there be bloodbath as millions of people in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir openly defy Asim Munir? So, ladies and gentlemen, you have the Congress party, which has been historically very close to the Chinese government. Now, why do we say that? Remember those pictures of Rahul Gandhi signing an MOU, and till date we don't know what was in that MOU. And at the height of Doklam, Rahul Gandhi meeting the Chinese envoys. Remember, all of that is recorded in pictures. Ladies and gentlemen, today you look at these pictures to my left and right. You have the pictures of the Congress party. You see these pictures, this is of the latest controversy, and this picture to my right, where you see Rahul Gandhi signing this MOU. We don't know what is in this MOU. Till date, we don't know what was in that MOU. Congress party won't talk about it. Communist party won't talk about it. And during the height of Doklam, when our forces, our army was locked in an eyeball-to-eyeball confrontation with the Chinese and gave them a bloodied nose, Rahul Gandhi decided to go and meet the Chinese embassy. Now, we have a parliament session coming up. Now, what is happening before our parliament session? You have these people who call themselves the Cockroach Jantar Party, who are protesting at Jantar Mantar. And all kinds of people are attending that protest, including people who are going there and asking for regime change. Sharjeel Imam's father, I think Umar Khalid's father was there. All kinds of people who wanted Aman ki Asha with Pakistan, people who generally hate the BJP or generally hate Modi and the current government. Now, all of them are convening at the Jantar Mantar. Interesting that around the same time when the left, you see MA Baby of the left, let's go back to that picture please, MA Baby of the left meeting Dipke at the CJP protest, and interestingly around the same time, a few days gap, of course, you had at the Chinese embassy event, you have MA Baby almost flanked, they're flanking the Chinese envoy there, MA Baby and D Raja, flanking the Chinese envoy at an event. Now, there are questions because this is coming before a parliament session. And before a parliament session, everybody wants a controversy. And in this parliament session, Abhishek, they tried to build up CJP as a controversy. Of course, it has died an organic death, the issue, because they don't really have an issue. But this meeting, Abhishek, does raise some very serious questions, pertinent questions before a parliament session. But even otherwise, why would you be meeting the Chinese and the CJP around the same time?
Well, Niranjan, you see, so far as CJP is concerned, there is absolutely no doubt, or there should be no doubt, that this was clearly an attempt at creating social discord and anarchy or with the template of Nepal and Bangladesh with Gen Z protests and student protests. It's just that it was not just, it did not just make organic death, it proved to be politically inert in terms of failing to get any traction whatsoever from the youth and the student community of the country. Having said that, from day one, we have seen on the ground at the Jantar Mantar that the communist parties have provided the ballast in terms of support base with the student wings of the respective CPI and CPM, the SFI and the ISA, or vice versa, coming in with their student members from JNU and being present at the protest site. On June 29, the communist leadership, M.A. Baby and Brinda Karat visited the CJP protest site. They were asked, and Brinda Karat responded saying that we have been part of these protests from the very beginning. We are supporting them from the very beginning. So that was a giveaway. Now on July 10 is when the same leadership of the communist parties, and remember their historical connections with the CCP or the Chinese Communist Party are known. It's an open secret. They met the Chinese ambassador at the Chinese embassy event. And now, remember, this is coming just ahead of the monsoon session of Parliament. So if you look at every time a session of Parliament begins, be it the budget session or the monsoon session, some attempts are made to sort of put the government on the mat and to create an atmosphere where doubts are raised generally about the direction the country is taking. And this seems, if you connect the dots, that this is also a concerted attempt within, of course, a limited echo chamber and ecosystem to create exactly that kind of situation. Now, whether there was some kind of confabulation on the present state of affairs between the Communist Party leadership and the Chinese ambassador, who obviously, remember, almost every Chinese official is by default a Chinese Communist Party or CCP member. Whether some exchange of notes or exchange of ideas happened, whether it was discussed how to take this to the next level or to evolve it into the next phase, given the fact that the first phase itself has bombed, that remains to be seen. We did ask questions of Mr. Baby, and he, of course, refused to take those questions, Niranjan.
Thank you for that, Abhishek. Abhishek, breaking that story on Republic this afternoon when he accessed those pictures. Thank you for that. We had a response coming in from the BJP, but even the man in the video and the picture, of course, M.A. Baby, he's a very senior left leader, outspoken against the government. We tried asking him some simple questions. He was getting off the car. He saw our mic. We asked him the questions. Wasn't very happy. Of course, most of them aren't very happy when they are confronted by Republic. Here's that sequence where our correspondent Harsh asks him, what's the link? He's asked him a simple question, Mr. M.A. Baby, what is your link? Why did you meet the CJP and then China? Is there a common link? What happened? Here's how he responded to Republic.
What are your China links? Sir, tell us what are your China links, sir. How does that make sense that you go to the CJP protest first and then you go to the Chinese embassy for an event?
I'm speaking.
Sir, but please tell us. Sir, but this is important, sir. This is about national security.
Behave like this.
Sir, I'm not misbehaving.
No,
sir, sir, this is a national security issue. Sir, please tell us, sir, what are your China links?
Please go ahead.
So what are your China links, sir? How does this make sense that you go to the CJP protest first and then you go to a Chinese embassy event? So please, sir, these are nation's questions. So please speak to us, sir. Sir, what are your China links, sir?
The BJP responding to the Republic Newsbreak has said it's a serious matter that such meetings are happening, asking questions, of course, if there are any links between the CJP, Chinese embassy. Nalin Kohli speaking to Republic on the Newsbreak.
Well, if what you're saying is true, then it's very, very serious. And the media, if it's got note of this kind of linkage between the protest that is happening in Delhi and it being linked to outside countries and foreign influence, then certainly those who are participating in this meeting have much to answer. Well, if what you're saying is true, then it's very, very serious. And the media, if it's got note of this kind of linkage between the protest that is happening in Delhi and it being linked to outside countries and foreign influence, then certainly those who are participating in this meeting have much to answer.
Ladies and gentlemen, in Pakistan, for the last few days, Republic TV has been getting you videos from inside POK, inside Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, where millions of people are out on the streets protesting against Pakistan, the state, protesting against Pakistan, the nation, protesting against Pakistan army under Munir. Essentially, they're saying, Pakistan, who the hell are you to sit on our land? And today the Pakistani government is facing serious questions and challenges, not just in POK, but even in Islamabad. Now, the man you see on the screen, his name is Fazlur Rahman. And Fazlur Rahman is a Pakistan politician. He's a very outspoken critic of the Pakistan government, to the extent of going to Munir, and he's addressing a rally with thousands of people. He's asking Asim Munir and his army lackeys to drop their uniform and contest elections if they have the guts. Now, for a Pakistani politician to say that, he needs to have a lot of courage, one. Secondly, he's also acknowledging that people like Asim Munir haven't really been voted to power, but they've been trampling across Balochistan, across POK. Fazlur Rahman challenged Asim Munir. Listen to that.
मुल्क उजड़ रहा है। खैबर पख्तूनख्वा में आज कोई हुकूमत नहीं है और मैं वहां से आया हूं। मैं बताना चाहता हूं पंजाब के लोगों कि मगरिब का सूरज गुरूब होने के बाद सुबह सूरज के तुलू होने तक पुलिस अपने थाने से बाहर नहीं आती, और जब पुलिस थाने से बाहर नहीं आएगी तो फिर सड़कें मुसल्लह गिरोहों के सपुर्द होंगी, फिर सड़कें और रास्ते डाकुओं के रहमो करम पर होंगे। आपकी हाकिमियत को मैं अपने सूबे में जानता हूं। तुम्हारी कोई हुकूमत नहीं है, तुम सिर्फ दारुल हुकूमतों में अपने बड़े बड़े बंगलों के अंदर बैठे हुए हो, टांग पे टांग डालकर समझते हो कि हम हुक्मरान हैं। कम से कम मेरे सूबे में तुम्हारी कोई हुकूमत नहीं है। बलोचिस्तान में, बलोच इलाकों में बगावतें थी। पूरा बलोच इलाका पाकिस्तान के इख्तियार से निकल चुका था। आज भी वहां पर पाकिस्तान हुकूमत की कोई रिट मौजूद नहीं है, लेकिन हम तो बलोच इलाके को रो रहे थे। अब तो पश्तून इलाका भी खून में नहा रहा है। पश्तून इलाके में हमने 2-3 दिन के अंदर 50 से ज्यादा लाशें वसूल की हैं।
Mumtaz Baloch is now joining us. Mumtaz Baloch is a Baloch activist, and he's of course not in Pakistan because he's not safe in Pakistan. Where exactly are you now, Mumtaz?
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me in your show. I'm based in Germany at the moment.
Okay.
From 2018 onwards, I have been living here in Germany. Before moving to Germany, I was living in Oman. In 2011, I was forced to leave Balochistan and move to Oman on exile. So from 2011 onwards, I'm living in exile.
Now, let me ask you a question, Mumtaz. What is the situation in Balochistan? Because there are a lot of videos, many of them are unverified, but some videos are verified of the attacks, for example, of Baloch rebels blowing up army cantonments, blowing up army vehicles, Pakistan army, Pakistan cantonment. Now, all of these things are happening. There are videos. How bad is the situation? Because there are reports of Baloch rebels taking over villages.
Let me correct you for 1 second. It's not taking over the villages. Villages a little bit smaller in context. Baloch rebels are taking control of cities now. You have heard about Herof 2. There was an operation launched by Baloch Liberation Army where they took over almost the entire Balochistan, and they controlled it for several hours and in some areas for several days even. So the situation was very bad because there was a time when we were just receiving dead bodies, but now the situation has turned a bit the other way around, because in return Pakistan is also getting some dead bodies. So the situation has become a bit more into control of Baloch rebels or freedom fighters. They are taking control of main highways and doing snap checking, taking control of cities, and they are also entering in military compounds. Sometimes they are eliminating the entire military force of different military compounds and taking the entire control of that particular picket or checkpoint or whatever you name it. Killing all the Pakistani soldiers. They are taking all their military equipments and arms, ammunitions, taking them away.
Okay. Interesting and evolving situation, Mumtaz. So we will be in touch. Thank you for speaking to Republic. I have to take a break right now. So I'll thank you at this point. We will come back to you, maybe reconnect with you later in the day as well. That was Mumtaz Baloch. Ladies and gentlemen, the problem is spreading in Pakistan. It's not limited to POK. It's not limited to Balochistan. In at least 4 geographical regions, Pakistan is breaking up. And it's not just what we say here in the news. There are videos that show Pakistan army being chased away by villagers. We'll get you those videos as well. We have some more breaking news coming up in just a bit. Taking a break. Thanks for watching. This is Exclusive.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट,
स्वाद बढ़ाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और फरसान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद ये ही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा।
Ready for the next big IPO? Apply for it on Grow. Open your free Demat account, check all IPO details, apply easily in a few taps. And that's it. Download Grow now for stocks, mutual funds and IPOs.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाए जीरा से MTH का जलजीरा जीरा से।
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
बड़े बड़े इम्तिहानों से गुजरता है, वक्त तराशता है जिसे, तो जाने क्या क्या न करता है। जब तक खुशबू सबसे बेहतरीन न बन जाए, आराम के लिए नहीं ठहरता है। जब तक लाजवाब न बन जाए, उसे नहीं इत्मीनान है। तभी तो रिचमंड बनना नहीं आसान है। आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
पापा सॉरी यार, गलती हो गई है। ये चोट खर्चा वर्चा।
अरे लास्ट बॉल पे छक्का भी तुम्हारा।
छक्का?
सब कैशलेस हो गया है। हाँ।
ला भाई मेरा बैट। वो अभी तो ठीक हुआ तू।
चार्ज हुआ यार।
बैट किसका है?
टाटा AIG है तो भरोसा है।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ स्वाद आया?
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
Ready for the next big IPO? Apply for it on Grow. Open your free Demat account, check all IPO details, apply easily in a few taps. And that's it. Download Grow now for stocks, mutual funds and IPOs.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
that the hot war phase is over.
but a low intensity conflict phase has started. America's contribution is that it is pushing the world off the cliff to an economic depression. Europe's contribution is that it started World War I, that it started World War II, and now it is extremely keen to start World War III. Indian economy cannot be ruined to satisfy the war lust of somebody in Israel. What exactly is going on in the Iran war? It's crossed 140 days and it has re-intensified. 8th of April, President Donald Trump had declared a ceasefire. He kept extending it, but what we now see is that the hot war phase is over, but a low intensity conflict phase has started, in which America
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट,
स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और परेशान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
Ready for the next big IPO? Apply for it on Grow. Open your free Demat account, check all IPO details, apply easily in a few taps. And that's it. Download Grow now for stocks, mutual funds and IPOs.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद ये तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा, सबका राजा आरती मसाला।
पापा,
सॉरी यार, गलती हो गई है। ये चोट खर्चा वर्चा।
अरे लास्ट बॉल पे छक्का भी तुम्हारा।
छक्का?
सब कैशलेस हो गया है। हाँ।
ला भाई मेरा बैट। वो अभी तो ठीक हुआ तू। अभी तो डिस्चार्ज हुआ यार। बैट किसका है?
टाटा IIG है तो भरोसा है।
प्यास बुझाए, ठंडक लाए, सबको भाए जीरा से। MTH का जलजीरा जीरा से।
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
ऑप्टोरोमा मैनुअल वाइंडिंग, 4 लोगों के पास है।
कुछ इससे भी अनोखा।
कमला पसंद, सिर्फ एक अनोखा स्वाद। कमला पसंद पान मसाला।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
AU करंट अकाउंट के साथ मिलता है फ्री UPI QR ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटी और एक ही ऐप से बैंक के सारे काम। AU
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े। चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ।
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है? सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
Ready for the next big IPO? Apply for it on Grow. Open your free Demat account, check all IPO details, apply easily in a few taps. And that's it. Download Grow now for stocks, mutual funds and IPOs.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट।
अब बताओ, स्वाद आया?
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
That the hot war phase is over, but a low intensity conflict phase has started. America's contribution is that it is pushing the world off the cliff to an economic depression. Europe's contribution is that it started World War I, that it started World War II, and now it is extremely keen to start World War III. Indian economy cannot be ruined to satisfy the war lust of somebody in Israel. What exactly is going on in the Iran war? It's crossed 140 days and it has re-intensified. 8th of April, President Donald Trump had declared a ceasefire. He kept extending it. But what we now see is that the hot war phase is over, but a low intensity conflict phase has started, in which America and Iran are continuing the war, albeit at lower levels of intensity. First 40 days they went all out. Now they are continuing the conflict in fits and starts, in spurts, but it is no war, no peace. Why was the ceasefire declared in the first place? Why was the MOU signed? Because the CEOs of ExxonMobil, Chevron and other American oil companies had gone to Donald Trump and told him point blank that so far economies of the world had survived by dipping into the strategic petroleum reserves. These reserves are now reaching the end of their tether, and if they are not replenished soon, the world could hit not just an economic recession but a depression, which will affect the United States of America as much as it will affect economies in Asia and Europe and elsewhere. Indian economy will equally take a hit hard, because if all countries start wanting to replenish their strategic petroleum reserves, sir, the price of oil will shoot up to $150, $200 a barrel. There is no leeway left anymore. And because Donald Trump understands a bit of economics, he claims to be a trader president, he had decided to stop the war, shut this stupid war down, which he had started on Israel's instigation, Mossad's instigation, that it would be a quick in, quick out war. Iran has never been so weak. The Iranian state can be.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Politically explosive connections coming out between the Communist Party leadership of India and the Chinese Communist Party to the Chinese embassy, even as they very openly support the cockroach Jantar Party anarchists. That's our focus this Super Prime Time. Let's begin with the headlines. Republic exposes China's link to CJP protesters. Top left leaders seen meeting Abhijit Dipke and attending Chinese embassy event next. Shiv Sena leader Matre released on bail due to high blood pressure, and then he mocks the doctors and the rule of law.
सियासत करनी है तो वर्दी उतार कर आइए, इलेक्शन में हिस्सा लीजिए, पता चल जाएगा कि वर्दी वाले को लोग क्या वोट देते हैं.
After Imran Khan, another Pakistan politician faces the wrath of Pak Army. FIR filed against Maulana Fazlur Rahman, who exposed Asim Munir's forces.
पूरा बलोच इलाका पाकिस्तान के इख्तियार से निकल चुका था. आज भी वहां पर पाकिस्तान हुकूमत की कोई रिट मौजूद नहीं है. अब तो पश्तून इलाका भी खून में नहा रहा है.
Fazlur Rahman holds a mirror to the Rawalpindi generals and says the Pak Army has effectively lost control of both Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan. Back home day after Tamil Nadu government issues anti-bribery helpline, TVK leader caught red-handed accepting bribe. Supreme Court pulls up Patna High Court over the order that groping women's breast or woman's breast is not an attempt to rape, asks court to exercise judicial restraint. Welcome back, friends. Just days before the monsoon session of Parliament, a political controversy has erupted over alleged links between the Cockroach Jantar Party and senior left leaders. A big Republic news break exposes visuals of CPM General Secretary M.A. Baby, who was seen at the CJP protests at Jantar Mantar and days later attended an event at the Chinese embassy alongside other left leaders. This raises a serious concern over these links. The question is there a bigger Chinese link to these protests? And is the Gen Z being purposefully instigated as part of a larger conspiracy?
A fresh political controversy has erupted over the alleged links between the Cockroach Jantar Party's protest and senior left leaders. The row centers around CPIM General Secretary M.A. Baby, who was present at the CJP protest and hunger strike at Delhi's Jantar Mantar on June 29th. During the protests, M.A. Baby, along with CPM leader Brinda Karat and other opposition leaders, extended support to the CJP agitation. Visuals also show CPIM leader M.A. Baby meeting CJP founder Dipke during the protest. Days later, on July 10th, M.A. Baby attended a seminar organized by the Chinese embassy in New Delhi to mark 105th anniversary of the Communist Party of China. The same CPI leaders who were seen backing the anti-government CJP protest were later seen attending the Chinese embassy's program. The sequence of events has also fueled questions over whether the CJP China link is attempting to mobilize Gen Z and trigger more protests. The event was also attended by CPIM Political Bureau member R. Arun Kumar, CPI General Secretary D. Raja and leaders of other left parties. Republic also confronted CPM leader M.A. Baby asking about the CJP China links.
What are your China links? Sir, tell us what are your China links, sir. How does that make sense that you go to the CJP protest first and then you go to the Chinese embassy for an event?
I'm speaking.
So, but please tell us. So, but this is important, sir. This is about national security.
Behave like this.
Sir, I'm not misbehaving. Sir, this is a national security issue. Sir, please tell us, sir, what are your China links?
Please go ahead.
So, what are your China links, sir? How does this make sense that you go to the CJP protest first and then you go to a Chinese embassy event? So, please, sir, these are nation's questions. So, please speak to us, sir. Sir, what are your China links, sir?
M.A. Baby is clearly seen dodging the questions. The sequence of events from the CJP protest at Jantar Mantar to the Chinese embassy seminar has now triggered a political controversy ahead of the parliament session.
Moving on. A fresh political storm is brewing in Pakistan as JUI chief Maulana Fazlur Rahman dared Asim Munir's forces. His remarks came as protests intensify in Pak-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, with the Kashmiris there marching towards Muzaffarabad demanding governance reforms, basic human rights and accountability.
A major political row has erupted in Pakistan, with JUI chief Fazlur Rahman launching a sharp attack on the country's military establishment over its role in politics and security affairs.
मुल्क उजड़ रहा है। खैबर पख्तूनख्वा में आज कोई हुकूमत नहीं है और मैं वहां से आया हूं। मैं बताना चाहता हूं पंजाब के लोगों कि मगरिब का सूरज गुरूब होने के बाद सुबह सूरज के तुलू होने तक पुलिस अपने थाने से बाहर नहीं आती और जब पुलिस थाने से बाहर नहीं आएगी तो फिर सड़कें मुसल्लह गिरोहों के सपुर्द होंगी, फिर सड़कें और रास्ते डाकुओं के रहमो करम पर होंगे। आपकी हाकिमियत को मैं अपने सूबे में जानता हूं। तुम्हारी कोई हुकूमत नहीं है। तुम सिर्फ दारुल हुकूमतों में अपने बड़े बड़े बंगलों के अंदर बैठे हुए हो, टांग पे टांग डालकर समझते हो कि हम हुक्मरान हैं। कम से कम मेरे सूबे में तुम्हारी कोई हुकूमत नहीं है।
Fazlur Rahman has alleged that Pakistan's military has lost control in regions like Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan. Rahman has challenged Pakistan's Chief of Defence, Asim Munir, to contest elections and stop manipulating polls. Rahman claimed the army's involvement in political affairs has deepened instability, while accusing it of putting pressure on civilians during periods of unrest. Meanwhile, in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, thousands of protesters have begun gathering for a long march towards Muzaffarabad, raising demands over governance and basic rights.
पाकिस्तान को बल्कि पूरी दुनिया को ये पैगाम देना चाहती हूँ कि हुकूमत पाकिस्तान ने ये हमें दहशतगर्द और कलअदम करार दे दी है, और क्योंकि हम 1 महीने से इधर बैठे हैं, हमारा एहतजाज चल रहा है और ये कह रहे हैं दहशतगर्द क्या तालीम मांगते, क्या अपनी मियारी तालीम मांगते, क्या अस्पताल मांगते, दहशतगर्द तो क्लैशनकोफ मांगते।
Protesters are calling for an end to military raids, the release of detained activists, restoration of communication networks, and reforms in the electoral system. The demonstrations also include demands for subsidized utilities, better public services, and greater accountability from authorities. As the march gains momentum, the political backlash against Pakistan's military establishment is intensifying, putting pressure on Islamabad, which has been a silent spectator in watching its citizens being tortured.
Just a day after the Tamil Nadu government launched a dedicated WhatsApp helpline for citizens to report bribery in government offices, a fresh controversy has erupted. A video purportedly showing a TVK Panchayat functionary accepting a bribe has gone viral, triggering a political storm. The BJP has attacked Vijay's party, calling it the true face of TVK. Here are the details.
A video involving a TVK functionary has sparked a fresh political controversy in Tamil Nadu. The viral clip shows a TVK Panchayat president, Veerasamy, from Chengalpattu's Mambakam, negotiating bribe with the contractor. The demand was allegedly linked to clearing payments for a road construction project. In the video, the leader is heard asking how much money is still pending. The contractor replies that 1 lakh rupees has already been transferred through GPay, while the remaining 30,000 rupees is being paid in cash. BJP leaders have shared the video on social media, claiming it exposes the real face of the party that promises corruption-free governance. The controversy comes barely a day after the Tamil Nadu government launched a dedicated anti-corruption WhatsApp helpline for citizens to report bribery in government offices.
Now see, for any individual's mistakes or crimes, the party cannot definitely, own it. But I think Mr. Vijay has to be very cautious. And we have seen a lot of ministers also indulging in so many things. And we have seen a lot of MLAs, for example, in Tuticorin. And we saw the finance minister, problems with them. And we have a lot of ministers, MLAs, and very important office bearers. So I think if Mr. Vijay's intentions are very clear, I think he has to be very perfect and very strict in see to it that the office bearers or the public representatives doesn't make any mistakes.
The accused TVK functionary, Veerasamy, who gave an explanation that he did not take any bribes, has now been sacked from the party. With the video now dominating Tamil Nadu's political discourse, the bribery allegations have intensified the war of words between BJP and Vijay's TVK.
Moving on, a controversial judgment by the Patna High Court has now come under the scanner of the Supreme Court. The apex court has strongly questioned the recent ruling that acquitted a man of attempt to rape charges, observing that courts must show greater sensitivity while dealing with cases involving sexual violence against women. The remarks come after the High Court held that removing a woman's salwar and pressing her breasts did not amount to an attempt to rape.
The Supreme Court has expressed serious concern over a recent Patna High Court judgment that acquitted an accused of attempt to rape charge in a sexual assault case. Hearing the matter, the apex court questioned both the reasoning and the language used in the High Court order, saying courts must exercise greater sensitivity while dealing with crimes against the women. The controversy stems from July 9th judgment of the Patna High Court, which held that removing a woman's salwar and groping her chest did not constitute an attempt to rape. The High Court instead treated the incident as an offence related to outraging women's modesty and later acquitted the accused on the technical grounds. The observations triggered widespread criticism, with many questioning whether the judgment had downplayed the seriousness of the assault.
However, as a young woman, I feel that it's deeply concerning that something that has happened without consent is not being accounted for or is not being asked why it was happened. The kind of terms that was used by the Honorable Justice of Patna High Court is deeply insensitive, and especially as honorables who are present in the judicial system, I think they should be more sensitive and more cautious of the kind of words they are using for matters concerning women, and especially on issues that does not involve a woman's consent.
The Supreme Court noted that judicial orders in sexual offence cases must reflect empathy, caution, and an understanding of the trauma faced by the survivors.
Honestly, from my perspective, I am outraged because of the fact that if such a hearing is being passed in a high court, and even if it's in Patna or Allahabad, as previously done before, I wouldn't feel safe enough to come out and tell people that I've been assaulted if that even happens to me, because I'm not going to get the justice that I really want in the society. And if anything, it's going to be looked down upon, right? So as a student, I wouldn't want to come out and tell others about it if it does happen to me. And such a hearing should not have been taken place in our country, I feel.
Well, the problem right now is that I feel assault, harassment like this has been normalized. Like, oh, I just touched her breast. That's like seemed like normal right now, like from the recent judgment that came out. So I feel like even the slightest touch, which is inappropriate, which makes a woman feel uncomfortable, should not be treated as normal. It should not be treated so lightly. It is grave, because a woman's dignity, her woman's respect, whatever she feels, her safe haven, it's being stripped away.
Some lenient reading there by the Lordships of Patna High Court, reprimanded by the Supreme Court. Moving on. Shiv Sena corporator accused of assaulting two doctors at a Mumbai hospital is granted bail on medical grounds for blood pressure fluctuation. Ramesh Matre was arrested after allegedly slapping two doctors at a Thane hospital, got bail on medical grounds and continues to remain admitted. The development has sparked an outrage among the medical fraternity.
Just days after assaulting two doctors inside a Thane hospital, Shiv Sena corporator Ramesh Matre is now out on bail due to blood pressure. Matre was granted bail on July 14 after citing health concerns and has since remained admitted to a private hospital. The development has triggered questions whether the corporator is receiving VVIP treatment. Matre was arrested after he slapped two doctors during an altercation at a hospital on July 6th. The incident had sparked outrage, with BJP demanding strict action.
अभी भी बीपी हायर साइड में है, तो ऐसे ट्रीट कर रहे हैं अपन.
वो लास्ट टाइम कब एडमिट हुए थे हॉस्पिटल में?
अंडर कस्टडी है, पेशेंट अंडर कस्टडी है, तो पुलिस ही लेके आया है पेशेंट, तो परसों है.
Republic spoke to Ramesh Matre's doctor, who said that the corporator remains under observation because of fluctuating blood pressure. The case continues to draw attention, with opposition leaders questioning whether influential politicians are getting a VVIP shield while facing criminal charges.
It's a clash of the titans today as Argentina are set to face England in the second World Cup semi-final, FIFA World Cup final, semi-final. A place in the final beckons and a chance to face Spain at the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey.
A chance at history beckons for Argentina and England tonight. Argentina are looking for their second consecutive FIFA World Cup title, while England are still waiting for their first World Cup trophy since 1966. And both teams will be looking for a place in the 2026 FIFA World Cup final. Both teams have not been at their best so far during the World Cup, but have done enough to get the job done. The teams will rely heavily on their talismans Lionel Messi and Harry Kane. Both superstars have set the World Cup on fire with breathtaking displays. Lionel Messi added another feather to his cap by becoming the World Cup's greatest ever goal scorer, and will be looking to cement his place as the greatest footballer of all time by adding a second World Cup title to his name. A shot at immortality awaits. Will Lionel Messi confirm his place in yet another World Cup final? Or will England get closer to the trophy that has eluded them for 60 years?
A landmark chapter began in India-UK economic ties as the free trade agreement between the two nations officially came into force. The deal gives nearly 99% of Indian exports duty-free access to the United Kingdom, while also opening the Indian market further to British products such as cars, whiskies, and machinery. From textiles and pharmaceuticals to its services, the agreement is expected to boost trade, create jobs, and make businesses on both sides more competitive, with a target of doubling bilateral trade to over $100 billion by 2030. Here's a look at how the deal will impact both India and the UK.
India and the United Kingdom have entered a new phase in their economic partnership as the India-UK Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement has officially come into force. The landmark pact is being seen as Britain's biggest trade agreement since Brexit and one of India's most comprehensive free trade deals. Negotiations began in 2022 and concluded last year, paving the way for deeper trade, investment and economic cooperation between the world's fifth and sixth largest economies. With the agreement now operational, Indian exporters will gain preferential access to the UK market. British companies will benefit from lower tariffs and easier access to India's growing consumer base.
Heartiest congratulations from FICCI to the Honourable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji on the operationalization of India-UK Free Trade Agreement. This agreement would open up new opportunities for the Indian industry in both goods and services. The cooperation in innovation, technology and talent mobility will enhance Indian industry's competitiveness. The agreement is a major landmark in India's FTA journey and will go a long way in promoting India's participation in global value chains and encouraging innovation-led growth in both the countries, India and the United Kingdom. My best wishes once again.
Sectors such as textiles, apparel, leather, jewelry, pharmaceuticals and engineering goods are expected to see significant gains as tariffs are reduced. The agreement is also expected to strengthen India's MSME sector by creating new export opportunities in the British market. For Indian consumers, one of the most visible changes could be the lower tariffs on products such as Scotch whisky and premium British goods over the coming years. The agreement also includes provisions aimed at simplifying customs procedures and improving ease of doing business for companies operating across both markets. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated on the significant India-UK partnership with the agreement and ambition supporting mobility for the Indian talent. Both governments now hope that the agreement will significantly increase bilateral trade over the coming years and strengthen economic ties across sectors. While the full benefits will unfold gradually, the implementation of the FTA marks a major milestone in India-UK relations.
All right, this is what all we had for you in Super Prime Time. Short break coming up on the other side. Super Prime Time Max. 4 debates packed with the hot conversations. Join in me and Niranjan as we fill in for Arnab Goswami right there after a short break.
Sir, tell us, what are your China links, sir? How does it make sense that you go to the CJP protest first and then you go to the Chinese embassy for an event? So, but please tell us. So, but this is important, sir. This is about national security. Sir, I'm not misbehaving. Sir, this is a national security issue. Sir, please tell us, sir, what are your China links? So, what are your China links, sir? How does this make sense that you go to the CJP protest first and then you go to a Chinese embassy event? So please, sir, these are nation's questions. So please speak to us, sir. So what are your China links, sir?
Co-powered by Crystal Crop Protection. देश का किसान, देश का हीरो.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात. वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ.
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट. ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े. चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े.
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट.
Ready for the next big IPO? Apply for it on Grow. Open your free Demat account, check all IPO details, apply easily in a few taps. And that's it. Download Grow now for stocks, mutual funds and IPOs.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
Our Pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
AU सेविंग्स अकाउंट में मिलते हैं अमेजिंग बेनिफिट्स, पेपरलेस बैंकिंग एंड हायर इंटरेस्ट, वो भी हर महीने.
मनी 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 एवरी मंथ. सोच बदलो और बैंक भी. प्यास बुझाए, ठंडक लाए, सबको भाए जीरा सिप. MTH का जलजीरा जीरा सिप.
जीरा सिप, असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा.
MTH.
पापा.
सॉरी यार, गलती हो गई है. ये चोट खर्चा वर्चा.
अरे लास्ट बॉल पे छक्का भी तुम्हारा. छक्का? सब कैशलेस हो गया है. हाँ. ला भाई मेरा बैट. वो अभी तो ठीक हुआ तू. अभी डिस्चार्ज हुआ यार. बैट किसका है?
टाटा AIG है तो भरोसा है.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ.
8 मिनट में तैयार.
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा, आर प्योर मसाला.
Ready for the next big IPO? Apply for it on Grow. Open your free Demat account, check all IPO details, apply easily in a few taps. And that's it. Download Grow now for stocks, mutual funds and IPOs.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट.
स्वाद बढ़ाए चमकी चाट.
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और फरसान. अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान.
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट.
Sir, tell us, what are your China links, sir? How does it make sense that you go to the CJP protest first and then you go to the Chinese embassy for an event? So, but please tell us. So, but this is important, sir. This is about national security. Sir, I'm not misbehaving. Sir, this is a national security issue. Sir, please tell us, sir, what are your China links? So what are your China links, sir? How does this make sense that you go to the CJP protest first and then you go to a Chinese embassy event? So please, sir, these are nation's questions. So please speak to us, sir. So what are your China links, sir?
Co-powered by Crystal Crop Protection, देश का किसान, देश का हीरो।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट,
स्वाद बढ़ाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और परेशान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
Ready for the next big IPO? Apply for it on Grow. Open your free Demat account, check all IPO details, apply easily in a few taps. And that's it. Download Grow now for stocks, mutual funds and IPOs.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा, सबका राजा आरती और मसाला।
पापा,
सॉरी यार, गलती हो गई है। ये चोट खर्चा वर्चा।
अरे लास्ट बॉल पे छक्का भी तुम्हारा।
छक्का?
सब कैशलेस हो गया है। हाँ,
ला भाई मेरा बैट। वो अभी तो ठीक हुआ तू।
अभी तो डिस्चार्ज हुआ यार।
बैट किसका है?
टाटा AIG है तो भरोसा है।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ, स्वाद आया?
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
Ready for the next big IPO? Apply for it on Grow. Open your free Demat account, check all IPO details, apply easily in a few taps. And that's it. Download Grow now for stocks, mutual funds and IPOs.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े।
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for the debate.
On the show tonight, ladies and gentlemen, court order on rape. There is a huge debate around a Patna High Court order. Even the Supreme Court has pulled out the Patna High Court. Looking at that subject at 8 p.m. Congress wants Kashmir autonomy. They're openly batting for Article 370. They say statehood does not matter. Statehood is not the real issue, says Saifuddin Soos. Congress is silent. Nine p.m. China, CJP left links. This week at the CJP stage, next week at the Chinese stage. Is there a China CJP link? (9:30 p.m.) The politicians who are openly asking Asim Munir to drop his uniform and contest elections. If he's got the guts, obviously he won't. Looking at that subject.
Thank you for joining us here on the debate, ladies and gentlemen. Abhishek and me are filling in for Arnab, who will be back on the show tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, he's back, 9 p.m. First subject tonight, at 8 p.m, ladies and gentlemen, there has been a High Court order, or should we say another controversial High Court order, Abhishek. Because there have been several orders which have come under immense scrutiny in the recent past, especially when it comes to sexual assault. Or outraging a woman's modesty. Now, in this particular case, the Supreme Court has had to intervene. Now, what happened in the Patna High Court? Now, the Patna High Court had, in a specific story where the accused undressed himself as per the victim, undressed himself, an attempt to remove the clothes of the victim and forcibly molested her. He tried to grope her, pressed her chest with the intention of committing a rape. And her cries then brought her father to the scene, who forced the studio door open. This happened many years ago. And the accused shoved the victim's father and fled. Now what happened? The Patna High Court raised concerns, Supreme Court raised concerns over the Patna High Court order. The High Court had ruled that pressing a woman's breasts, groping her, attempting to remove her salwar or her clothes did not amount to attempt to rape.
That's what the Patna High Court said, Niranjan, but it seems the Honourable Lordships were perhaps being lenient or likely getting caught in legalese. But that's something which the Supreme Court has frowned upon, and the judges or justices of the Patna High Court should be wary next time something like this happens, because consent is the key. If there is no consent, it's rape. Let's look at the facts and then come back on the other side with the panel of guests.
Patna High Court's latest order sparks debate. It held that removing a woman's salwar and pressing her chest is not attempt to rape. Acquitting a rape accused convicted by a trial court, Patna High Court said that allegations amount to outraging a woman's modesty and not attempt to rape.
Honestly, from my perspective, I am outraged because of the fact that if such a hearing is being passed in a High Court, and even if it's in Patna or Allahabad, as previously done before, I wouldn't feel safe enough to come out and tell people that I've been assaulted if that even happens to me, because I'm not going to get the justice that I really want in the society.
Well, the problem right now is that I feel assault, harassment like this has been normalized. Like, oh, I just touched her breast. That's like seemed like normal right now, like from the recent judgment that came out. So I feel like even the slightest touch, which is inappropriate, which makes a woman feel uncomfortable, should not be treated as normal. It should not be treated so lightly. It is grave.
Slamming the Patna High Court, Supreme Court called the reasoning deeply problematic and emphasized the need for sensitivity.
Actually, this is perversity at its epitome. The High Court should have read the judgments of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court clearly says, and they have settled law on what constitutes an attempt, what not. Only because there is a smaller offense prescribed in the IPC, which is outraging the modesty of women, that does not mean anything which is less than rape can only be punishable with outraging the modesty. There is a provision for attempt of rape, and the High Court could, in these facts where a man has bolted the door and pulled down a salwar, could have, no sane judge would have come to the conclusion that this is mere outraging the modesty and not attempt to rape.
But this is not the first time that courts have passed such controversial judgments. In 2025, the Allahabad High Court said victim invited trouble herself. In 2022, the Kerala High Court asked why did the victim wear provocative clothes. In 2020, the Karnataka High Court observed falling asleep after rape was unbecoming of an Indian woman.
The ruling is wrong, not acceptable. It is against human ethics, and our religion does not also permit such things. So now the case is sub judice before the Supreme Court of India, and we hope that we will get the justice, we will receive justice from them, and they understand the gravity of this matter. This is a very serious issue, and it cannot be ignored.
The kind of terms that was used by the Honorable Justice of Patna High Court is deeply insensitive, and especially as honorables who are present in the judicial system, I think they should be more sensitive and more cautious of the kind of words they are using for matters concerning women, and especially on issues.
While the nation expresses anger over such judgments, how many reminders should the Supreme Court have to give? Why is the judiciary still struggling with gender sensitivity? Are women being forced to fight the same legal battle repeatedly? These questions remain unanswered.
All right, which way the scales go? Patna High Court or the Supreme Court of the country? Joining us and backing the Patna High Court judgment, Advocate Diljit Singh Ahluwalia, criminal lawyer of the Supreme Court. His cases include the Monica Bedi case, forged passport case at Bhopal, and some other cases. He's joining us live from Delhi. Also, Ashutosh Srivastava on the same side, Advocate Supreme Court. He's someone who was the lawyer of the juvenile accused grandfather in Pune Porsche case. Also live from Delhi, and slamming the Patna High Court observations, Branda Adige, women's rights activist, live from Bengaluru. I want to begin with Lalita Kumar Mangalam. Very good evening to you. Ms. Kumar Mangalam, former chairperson of the National Commission for Women. As I said in the opening, is it a lenient view that the Patna High Court took, or is it about getting caught up in the legalese?
I don't think it's lenient at all. I think it's totally gender insensitive and absolutely injudicious. We go to the judiciary in search of justice. This is no form of justice. You can quote the law as much as you want, but the plain truth is that when a woman's consent is not there, it is sexual abuse, and it is probably almost always a precursor to rape. Often what happens is that the victim manages to escape, or the perpetrator suddenly sees somebody coming, or, some noise disturbs them, whatever it is, something like that, and then they run away, or they try to escape and find excuses for it. Too often are women told, oh, you dress provocatively, you speak provocatively, you should not wear makeup, and all of this nonsense. It's being normalized by a court which says, and this chap has removed his clothes. What for? If that's not rape, or at least an attempt to rape.
The reason why I said
groping is not just that. I mean, many women have been groped. I have. I mean, I'm being very frank. At this age, I can say it. I'm not so ashamed of what people may say. Groping is very different. But when you strip, and then you say that I have tried to strip a woman naked, it's not groping. And it's not a mistake. It is very deliberate.
Yeah.
So I cannot agree when anybody says, quoting some not obscure, but quoting some line in the law, that this is just outraging a woman's modesty. It's not. It is attempted rape.
Ma'am, in fact, the words were, the High Court had emphasized that the ingredients of attempted rape cannot be attractive.
It's not just insensitive. It's also, I'm afraid I'm going to get slammed for saying this, because in India, the courts are hardly answerable for anything.
Absolutely.
It is absolutely injudicious.
Yes.
This is not what we expect from our judges. And these are not raw judges who have never worked in court and have never seen such abuse that is meted out to women. And when judges of a high court do this, it means that you are normalizing sexual abuse. You are playing it down.
Yeah,
in today's day and age, this is one of the most dangerous. I'm not just saying it's injudicious, it's very dangerous. This will be quoted over and over again by those dirty, rotten scoundrels who want to get away by doing such heinous activities.
Now, I'll tell you what else was emphasized by the court, because I was just halfway through, ma'am, and Brinda, I'll get your response also. I want to hear the side which is questioning. Abhishek, let's get their view and then ask those who are backing the verdict. the High Court emphasized that the ingredients of attempted rape cannot be attracted in the absence of medical corroboration or an overt act unequivocally pointing toward sexual penetration. This is what the court said. I'd like to get your views on that, Brinda.
Those are just words, nicely twisted to suit the patriarchal sexist mindset. It does not even quote the lines from the law. What is attempted rape? Like Madam pointed out, what is attempted rape? The judge has all the powers to do these kind of things, make these statements. The judges, especially the ones in the High Court and the Supreme Court, have the power and the authority to interpret the law in the widest sense to ensure constitutional morality, to ensure that justice is perpetrators brought to justice. After all of this that has been narrated, this is called circumstantial evidence, the statement of the victim survivor. The judge, sorry to say, has the gall to make a statement that is so convoluted. I'm sure he himself or she himself doesn't really understand what the end point is. Attempt to rape. You remove the salwar, you got yourself naked, you touched her breast. What is this groped your breast? You are in front of her, not behind her. So behind you come to grope. Can you imagine in this age and time we are discussing these things? That too of a statement made by a High Court judge. Now, why should we not hold judges accountable? We are continuing the colonial mindset and the colonial administrative functions where a judge can never be questioned of the order that he or she has made. Why? We are 79 years down the line where the British, we have chased them out. Why would we want to continue the milords? Same attitude. We have laws, we have constitutional morality, and this court is the last place for everyone to go. The assumption is we didn't get justice here, we couldn't get it here, our safety is at stake, our lives are at stake, our dignity is at stake, and all that the judge can say is it does not fulfill the ingredients. What other ingredients does the judge want? After the rape, he will say attempted to rape. If there is penetration, that is rape. If there is no penetration, it is attempt to rape. Now, let's not even go into English and phrases of English. It is attempt to rape, and it is wrong that we don't hold judges accountable. Even the Supreme Court is pussyfooting over there.
Brinda, you have done a great job of channelizing our outrage, in fact, at the manner in which the Patna High Court really went about it. And both you and Ms. Kumar Mangalam, it's actually, perhaps they were playing with unequivocal overt act going beyond preparation to rape. Advocate Ahluwalia, preparing for rape is okay. That seems to be the accent of the observations of the Patna High Court there. Consent can go out of the window.
Yeah.
Preparation for rape is legit.
Okay, let me come on to the facts first, and then I'll come on to the law. The facts are that the girl and her father had gone over to the accused shop. There he takes her inside, takes a picture, sends it across on the computer. While the father is looking at it, he bolts the door from inside, he takes out his clothes, and he attempts to take out the salwar of the girl. That is when she starts screaming and the father starts banging the door from outside. This guy panics, he opens the door and he runs away. This is the factual conspectus. Now, the people who were witnesses in the case were the girl, her father, and her mother, who was not even there. What the judge says is that the medical officer was not examined as a witness, so was the investigating officer who filed the challan. He was also not examined as a witness. Now, there are two parts to it. One is this uproar which is there with regard to why is it not attempt to rape, or because there is no penetration and there is a reason for that.
Mr. Ahluwalia, then you're getting stuck in legalese.
One second.
You're saying there is no penetration, so there is no rape.
One second. Let me just complete. Let me complete.
But that's what you said.
This is what the judgment says. I am not saying this. This is what the judgment is saying. Because there is no penetration, there is no rape. And then he goes on to say that the prosecution has been able to establish a case of outraging the modesty. But the perversity of this judgment is that after noting that the charge of outraging the modesty is made out, he acquits the accused of all the offences. And he says that the bail bonds are discharged. Now, another second point here is outraging the modesty carries a maximum sentence of 5 years and a minimum sentence of 1 year. Even if I take this judgment at face value, why did he just acquit him? Even for that offence, a minimum of 1 year he should have been in jail. He was only inside the jail for 3.5 months. Now coming on to the most important point which nobody has touched. The case which the prosecution has been able to establish, the offence which is made out is under 354B, that is committing assault or criminal force with intent to disrobe. Now this is the offence which is clearly made out. The maximum sentence of this is 7 years with a minimum sentence of 3 years. So even if he says that the prosecution case is made out and rape is not made out, how on earth did he acquit him of all charges? This particular charge is clearly made out.
So you are admitting to miscarriage of justice there. You are admitting that this is clearly a case of miscarriage of justice.
So this particular judgment is erroneous on the face of the record without getting into the controversy of whether it is rape or not, because see, in criminal law, every offense has got ingredients. It's like when you're having pizza, there are ingredients of pizza. Can you call pizza dal chawal? You can't call it because the ingredients are different. Similarly, in criminal law, every offense has got ingredients. But I say that when you say that this particular allegation is made out, the offense under 354B is made out 7 years imprisonment. How could you just say that those rape is not made out? Acquit him completely. Absolutely perverse judgment.
Ms. Kumar Mangalam, you agree with this nuance there that, okay, fine, not rape, but still there is enough enough leeway available for the lordships to actually go and punish the accused and not acquit him?
As per the law, he's let him off too lightly. Courts seem to think that, it's okay for women's modesty is outraged. And they bring it all down to that small thing. Somebody gropes you, it's okay. Pehle bafa hua hai. I mean, first time it happened, let him off. It's okay. He must have been drunk. They're so keen to find excuses for criminals like this. And I call them criminals. No man who wants to take advantage of a woman physically is not a criminal. At the very least, he has a criminal bent of mind. And the gentleman who just spoke before me is quite right. When such, under, what did he say, Section 354B, it is found that the man has done this and there is a penalty that the law itself says should be given. Why was the fellow just let off like that? If that is not the court encouraging this sort of indecent and abusive behavior, what is? In India, and I'm going to get slammed for this, I know it, but one of the biggest problems India has is that our courts are unaccountable. I don't know how many of you remember the NGAC Act of 2014 when it was introduced, what happened. But nobody questions the courts. We outrage over it on TV debates, in the media, etc. But there is no sort of pulling up a judge or a bench of judges who comes up with statements like this, which are so obviously not just unjust, but also not even following the course of the law. There is a law laid down, but always some excuses are found. For example, let me give you just another example. Recently, Shraddha Walker's murder. Yes. He's gone to give his exams. I'm sorry, it has nothing to do with this. But what I'm trying to say is that more and more women in India feel that we are not being given justice by the courts. Yeah. What is the point of going to court with what some people have told me? No, after all, look what happens.
Kumar Mangalam,
and this is very bad.
Yeah, the reason why I was trying to jump in is because ironically we had this debate on Saturday. Can't hear you, Brinda. We had this debate on Saturday about Shraddha Walker. And we had the same two participants, both Advocate Diljit Singh Ahluwalia and Ashutosh Srivastava, both of whom backed the court verdict in that particular case, saying it's completely okay. And the reason I'm bringing it up is it is a problem because you look at, there is a history to it, right? Ashutosh Srivastava, You see, Allahabad High Court 2025, there were observations made to the effect of victim invited trouble herself. Why did victim go to a bar and consume alcohol in a case? I'm not getting into the specifics because there are 7 or 8 instances of such observations or orders given, right? Kerala High Court 2022, a question was asked in an order, why did the victim wear provocative clothes? Karnataka High Court 2023, an observation that was made to reduce a minor rapist sentence claiming the act lacked brutality. Sexual assault lacked brutality. Karnataka High Court again 2020, victim falling asleep post-rape was unbecoming of an Indian woman. I don't know what that means, but this was actually said. Madras High Court 2015 asked a minor to marry the rapist to settle the case. I think you all are all advocates, lawyers, activists know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a problem. Shraddha Walker case, it is a problem, Ashutosh. I mean, you chop someone into pieces. God knows how many pieces, excess of 100, you throw it all over the place.
Freeze her.
Freeze it. No, he threw a few. So that thinking animals would eat it.
Stuff still left in the freeze. I don't know why. Was he
because there was so much, he left some in the fridge.
That guy was an inhuman beast.
I
don't know how you can normalize it.
But he's given time. He's been given time to write an exam, ma'am. Exam is more important. You see, education is more important for him right now. Yes.
Than justice.
I completely agree that any crime, if within the crime, and it has been punished as the law, there is no second thought on it.
Your audio is a little.
There is present situation, present case.
Ashutosh, your audio. There's a problem in your audio. Your audio is muffled. Okay, just try to improve your connection.
Am I?
You're audible, but not very clearly.
Audible, but not very clear. Okay, I'll just fix it. Give me 30 seconds. I'll fix it.
I'll go slowly and I just explain that.
Can't hear you clearly. Can't hear you. I'm coming back to you. Brinda want to come in. Brinda. I'll fix that line and come back to you. Brinda.
We all know what the cases are that have been so terribly interpreted by nobody less than High Court judges. I ask the question again, why is it that we are not holding judges accountable? What part of the judicial reforms are being withheld so that these people can just get away speaking all of this in a court and putting it down as precedents for every other perpetrator, rapist to get him or herself defended in the future? Why is it that we are not holding them? In this particular case also, the judgment is being written off in a manner. The police made a case of 354A. Why have you pulled up the police? Why did you not pull up the police? Who told the police that he or she could write an FIR and get a charge sheet done on 354A when a statement has been made so clearly that he got himself naked, he removed her salwar, he touched and pressed her breast. All of this, police, nobody can tell me that the IO was not trained. And why the hell was the IO not brought to court and made to depose? Why have all these things not been done? How dare the judge give some kind of a judgment like this when the ingredients of you putting your judgment were not in place? These are all also ingredients, no? It is procedure. Nobody is asking you to do charity or, do it out of good faith and benevolence. Call the police, call the IO, call the doctor, call somebody else. This is procedure. If procedure was not followed, how could you give as a judgment as a judge? Should you not have also followed and pulled up all of them? You are the judge, the highest authority sitting there. And you fail us. It's appalling that we don't hold such people accountable.
I think it's a case of mindset. It's a case of societal, mores. Because Miss Kumar Mangalam, I was going through the website of the Patna High Court and about 25 or 28 judges, only one woman justice. All of them are male, So it's likely that, it's a conditioning issue because as even Advocate Ahluwalia says that he has to defend the verdict on certain aspects of law, but then there were other provisions within the framework of which the judge or the bench could have punished the accused and not let him go off, but they allowed it because they were taking a very lenient view of the law as it stands.
You know, this whole thing about lenient view, the law cannot be one way or the other. I mean, it should be one way or the other. Either you're guilty or you're not. I don't think the law says that, oh, you're half guilty, half innocent. This is not how the law should work. When there are rules laid out, judicial rules laid out, and when the laws are written so clearly, a bench or a single judge, their job is to give justice. You can't say justice half served, and this is exactly what's happening in India. What half? Even quarter served is not there in many cases that we see. Over and over and over again, we are willing to give, a chance that perpetrators like this should not be given. And murderers, and I mean, today we are talking about women and rape, sexual abuse. But what is rape? Anything penetrative. Tomorrow, if a judge turns around and says that somebody has used their finger to rape a child or a woman, that's not rape, then what do? There are so many, there is such a huge gray area. And most people in India do not know the law. So we get taken in often by the so-called, niceties of the law, what is written or what is not written, etc. The law should be absolute. Either you're guilty or you're not. What do you mean it's an attempt to rape? A man gets caught out, he gets, disturbed or in the middle of trying to rape a woman.
Yeah.
And runs away.
And
if you ask me, that should, attempt to rape should also have a very severe punishment. These are just words, as Brinda pointed out.
I was just going through.
Ask any woman who has been sexually abused, even, in a small way, and nothing is actually small to any woman who's abused. We carry the scars for the rest of our life, regardless. Most of us are afraid to talk about it to our own families. Families cover up. Because of exactly what is said and continues to be said by too many people, unfortunately by judges. The clothes she wear. Why did he go to a bar? Why was she holding his hand?
There's nothing like that in this case. There's nothing like that in this case. She was decently dressed. Salwar kameez, nothing can be more decent than that. And she was there with her father. So obviously, this is clearly a case.
No.
You don't even with lustful eyes. That's a different thing. Children are being raped.
Yeah,
and
of
children,
course.
if they are unclothed,
Ma'am, I'll tell you.
Ms. Kumar Mangalam, even otherwise, if you look at it, it's preposterous that 18 years, this incident happened in 2008. Imagine the tenacity and the kind of despair now that the victim must be feeling that for 18 years she had to wait and the accused is let go of.
This is also why it's often not reported. This is what I'm trying to tell you, that many women, many women have told me, in Hindi, if I say it, kya fayda, Didi? People will only find fault with me. Everybody will point fingers only at me. My family does not want me to be further ostracized. I just want to now forget it.
Okay.
And this is how abuse has been normalized.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Which is an absolute shame.
It's really unfortunate that the Patna High Court justices did what they did in this case. They have got a knuckle on, rap on the knuckles by the Supreme Court, and rightly so. But Ashutosh Srivastav, we missed having you there for most of the time, but now that if the audio is right, I was going through, while preparing for this, the highest rate of rapes is reported in European countries, more specifically Scandinavian countries. Now look at the definition of rape in Sweden, for example. Any sexual act without explicit consent. Prosecutors do not need to prove that violence, threats, or force were used. Passivity, silence, or ambiguous signals do not equal agreement. The initiator must get active consent through words or actions, otherwise it's rape. That kind of clarity. No consent, no yes, it's a rape.
Our Indian law is not different. Now see, so far as this particular order is concerned, passed by the Patna High Court, as my friend Mr. Ahluwalia, I think he rightly explained, that Patna High Court said that, see, both are offences. Whether it is under section 354 of IPC or the new law, BNS section 74, okay, both, or maybe the, attempt to rape or rape. the Patna High Court was of the view that it will not amount to rape or attempt to rape, but at the same time, it will amount to the outraging of modesty of a woman under section 354 of IPC, or maybe the new law BNS, section 74 of BNS. And these both situations, if you consider, both are offenses, both are serious offenses against the women and are punishable offenses. Now, if we see that outraging the modesty of a woman, the maximum punishment is 5 years. Now, Patna High Court was of the view that considering the facts of the matter, that there was no any attempt to penetration or maybe the penetration at the same time, but there was completely, forcible.
But that's what you are laboring, you are belaboring, but the point is, Ashutosh, if there is no consent, it's rape, period. That's how it ran away.
Penetration is rape.
There was no point. There was no point.
I mean, extending the argument that you are giving, Ashutosh, the victim should have waited till penetration happens and then cry foul, then cry rape. No, it does not work like that. I mean, for God's sake.
Both are different offenses. Both are different offenses, and that has to be considered by the court, and accordingly the court has considered.
The court has failed.
One second, 1 minute. What are you saying? Hold on.
The court has failed.
No, 1 minute. He's acknowledging that the court has said
are the same offense, then there is no need of different sections.
Hello. You touch without consent, it's rape. You touch without consent, it's rape. That's how it should be. That's what the accent of the Me Too movement was. You would end up justifying the Me Too, incidents if you take this nuanced position.
Both are punishable offenses, no doubt, but the punishments are different. Now, when you say about rape, the definition is different. The definition is different under section 375, 376 of IPC and maybe section 65, 64 of the new law BNS. The definitions are different. Now, the Patna High Court, they interpreted the law and they came to a conclusion that considering the facts of the matter and the investigation and the prosecution and maybe the witnesses' statements, it falls well within
Ashutosh, you know how things work at the trial court level. If the justices of the High Court who live in this ivory tower live fancy lives, if they can have this kind of miscarriage of justice, imagine what happens at the trial court level where everything can be compromised, does get compromised, where the accused can really buy off, threaten, and what all happens, things get managed. I mean, is it not a fact that we know how it works at the trial court, district court, lower court level?
What is the value of section?
I mean, the fact that the medical officer did not come and depose, is it the fault of the victim? Is it the fault of the victim?
I'll tell you what he's doing.
Is it the fault of the victim that the medical officer did not depose? And then for the Honorable Lordship to say, okay, fine, the medical officer did not depose.
He's being very smart.
There is a lacuna in the trial court order.
Abhishek, he's being extremely smart. Hold on. Like he did,
doesn't support that.
Like he did in the case of Sia Agarwal, when he was briefly the advocate or whatever happened in between. He said, see, there is no proof. Nobody saw Sia pushing Ketan off the cliff.
Yeah, of course, nobody killed Ketan.
Nobody killed Ketan. Now so he's smartly looking at the definition of rape under BNSS. He's saying a man is said to commit rape. Now, this is what the law says, the new law. It says a man is said to commit rape if there is penetration, and then it goes into details which I don't want to repeat on a live show, but then it also says manipulates any part of the body of a woman so as to cause penetration into blah blah blah.
Absolutely.
Any part of hello, one second. What you're not saying is what it explains here. Now, it explains consent also. If you go through the full details, it explains consent. Consent means any unequivocal voluntary agreement when the woman by words, gestures or any form of verbal or non-verbal communication communicates willingness to participate in the specific sexual act. See, if it was as per definition, Supreme Court would not have pulled up the Patna High Court. No. Ashutosh.
No. See, Supreme Court has said that they will put up one manual in the website. Now, what will be that manual about? What it will include? That will depend. Now the manual has not come. What manual? The interpretation
what
made
manual?
by the
What manual?
Whether section 374 is applied.
For God's sake.
or maybe section.
What are you saying?
You are going to wait, is the Patna High Court judge and you waiting for a manual and ignore a law that has been passed by the parliament?
No. This is what has been said by the Supreme
What
Court.
is attempt to rape?
This is what has been said by the
What is
Supreme Court.
attempt to rape? What are the ingredients in attempt to rape?
Why do
No,
lawyers
the
and the court in
ingredients
India
in attempt to
still
rape,
continue to
as
minimize
explained by
sexual
my
violence
friend,
against
is
women and
about
girls?
the attempt to have the penetration, which is not there in this particular case, as
How do you
explained
know?
by
Why did he
Patna
take
High
off his
Court.
clothes? What was he planning to do?
Who decided that?
Can you tell me?
Who
He took off
decided?
her clothes and his own. What
That
for?
will be decided by the charge
is not
sheet
enough.
filed by the police investigation report.
Was the judge
That
there
is
when this
based on the
happened? Why is he
report
not
filed by the
listening to
police.
the woman's version of things? In India, no women
judge
cries
can
rape
wash
if
his
she
or
was
her
not
hands
really
because of the
abused.
police?
No, according to you, then section 354 should be deleted from IPC. This is what you are saying.
No, that's not what we said.
What we are both saying is that you
No, he's getting technical about it. He's a lawyer, he'll only get technical about it.
Should be deleted.
He'll only get technical.
Going to the technicality, of course.
You know, rape
I
is
think
not just
Niranjan-
merely a technical offense.
Then the
It's
question arises that
psychological,
what
it
is section
more
354
I think the
about?
fact of the matter is, that there has been a miscarriage of justice, and the Patna High Court is guilty of misreading the law, because even
that has
Advocate
not been
Ahluwalia, for
decided by the
example,
Supreme Court.
admits that there are enough provisions available for the judge to not have let the accused go off the hook, which was allowed, and rightly so, the Supreme Court intervened. Hopefully, we would see in this specific case, this instance itself, justice being restored, and we'll come back to this story, Niranjan.
But Abhishek, as journalists, we have to throw some data, right? So I'm throwing some data at the judges, my lords. 25%, that is the conviction rate, right, for such offences in India. In excess of 80 million cases, if I'm not wrong, still pending in the courts, right? And then we have cases like this. After 18 years, this victim waited, and this is what she had to deal with. Perhaps even the judges will have to introspect sometimes. On that note, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on this show. Moving on to the second subject now on the debate at 8:30 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, his name is Saifuddin Soz. Saifuddin Soz is no small leader. He was a union minister. He was a Congress minister in Jammu and Kashmir. Very, very senior leader. So when somebody like Saifuddin Soz first writes a letter to Pakistan, he was part of the signatory list writing a letter to Pakistan saying, let's bring Kashmir to the table. That letter, Abhishek, which we broke last week, had a clause, or rather a point saying, let India and Pakistan talk and let's bring Kashmir to the table. A Congress leader. Now this Congress leader, emboldened because nobody, took him to the cleaners except Republic. He has made a bolder statement today saying statehood is not even the issue. He says Article 370 ko wapas lao. He wants 370 back now. Congress has not rebutted him, which gives you an indication that perhaps
they're in agreement. Let's look at the facts.
Congress leader and former Union Minister Saifuddin Soz has sparked a major political debate. The Congress leader has openly called for the restoration of Article 370. At a time when even NC and PDP are solely pushing for statehood. Congress took things a step further and demanded a full restoration of Article 370. Soz further remarked that Jammu and Kashmir should stay with India only on their own terms.
नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस को स्टेटहुड की बात नहीं करनी चाहिए। मैं आप सबको, आप तो कश्मीर से हैं, मैं आपको दावत देता हूं, हमारा मसला स्टेटहुड का नहीं है। स्टेटहुड कौन छीन सकता है? क्या कयामत तक यूनियन टेरिटरी इसको कोई बना सकता है? वजीर आजम हो या वजीर दाखिला हो, कोई जम्मू कश्मीर रियासत को यूनियन टेरिटरी नहीं बना सकता। ये टेम्परेरी चीज़ है। हमारा असल मसला अंदरूनी दाखिली खुद मुख्तारी है, और जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों को 370 की बहाली के लिए लड़ना चाहिए। कभी कभी आपस में ये बात करते हैं विन्ना दिन की, ये गलत लफ्ज़ है नौजवानों के लिए। हमारी जो नौजवान नस्ल है उनको दिमाग में ये होना चाहिए कि हमने मुस्लिम अक्सरियत की रियासत ने हिंदुस्तान के साथ शिरकत की जिसमें हिंदू लोगों की अक्सरियत थी। तो भी शेख साहब ने मुनासिब समझा कि इस हिंदुस्तान में उस वक़्त 8 करोड़ मुसलमान थे, अब तो 23-24 करोड़ मुसलमान हैं, इसलिए हमने ठीक फैसला किया हिंदुस्तान में रहे, लेकिन अपनी शर्त पर हमको दाखिली खुद मुख्तारी जो है ज़रूर रेस्टोर होनी चाहिए।
Saifuddin's statement predictably drew a sharp response from the BJP. Senior BJP leader Sudhanshu Trivedi demanded answers from Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge regarding the matter.
जब कांग्रेस पार्टी के वरिष्ठ नेता, पूर्व केंद्रीय मंत्री और जम्मू कश्मीर कांग्रेस के अध्यक्ष रहे सैफुद्दीन सोज साहब ने यह बोल दिया कि मामला सिर्फ जम्मू कश्मीर राज्य में राज्य का दर्जा प्राप्त करने का नहीं है, मामला सिर्फ धारा 370 को बहाल करने का नहीं है, बल्कि उन्होंने शब्द प्रयोग किया जो उर्दू में मैं रिपीट कर देना चाहता हूं, मामला दाखिली खुद मुख्तारी का है, यानी संप्रभुता का है। और इसके आगे उन्होंने संप्रभुता का जो आधार बताया, उन्होंने कहा कि हम मुस्लिम अक्सरियत की स्टेट है। मैं हिंदी में बोले देता हूं, उन्होंने कहा कि हम मुस्लिम बाहुल्य राज्य हैं और पार्टीशन के समय मुस्लिम 8 करोड़ थे, अब 23-24 करोड़ हैं। हम भारत में रहेंगे और अपनी शर्तों पे रहेंगे और वह शर्त संप्रभुता के साथ जुड़ी रहेगी।
It may be mentioned that this is the same Congress leader who, as a part of the Aman Ki Asha gang, who wrote a letter to the Prime Minister seeking resumption of talks with Pakistan. Despite years of unending terror attacks and schemes by ISI, Soz advocated talks with killers of thousands of Indians. Soz also triggered a massive political storm by echoing former Pakistani President Pervez Musharraf's assessment that the first choice of Kashmiris is independence. So now the question lingers, is the Congress party openly taking a pro-Pakistan stand now? And why are the party leaders silent on the issue?
Okay, so we have RP Singh of the BJP, national spokesperson, Sushil Pandit is a Kashmiri activist, Pankaj Sharma, senior journalist, leans towards the Congress, Adil Nazir is a socio-political activist. Now, did he speak for the Congress or himself? Because you can't distance from him. Like in the case of Manishankar Iyer, Pankaj. Manishankar Iyer, you said, was speaking on his own and you said he's suspended, etc. Saifuddin Soz is a senior leader of the Congress. Former minister, right? He wants Article 370 back. He's saying statehood is not even an issue.
No, he's going further to that. I mean, you're helping him. He said, Khud Mukhtari.
Autonomy.
This is serious.
Autonomy.
Autonomy.
He wants autonomy. Kashmir autonomy.
So that is more dangerous. I mean, 370 is gone, but he's going further ahead to that. And then he has seen Kashmir when stone pelters used to be governing the Kashmir, or the monthly chart or the weekly chart used to come out, and then every week there used to be which time will the Kashmir will be open, which time will Kashmir be closed, and how Kashmir will run. I mean, that chart used to be thrown to the people every week after week on the Jummah day. So we have seen, I've personally witnessed all that in Kashmir since me and Sushil go long back to Kashmir. Sushil here's from Kashmir. I've been working in Kashmir since 1992. And I've seen that period when from the masjid, it used to be announced that, okay, move out of Kashmir or your woman will be raped or you'll be cut to pieces.
Okay, RP Singh, you got the opening. It was for Pankaj Sharma, but I think Pankaj Sharma gave it a pass because I think it's not easy for Pankaj Sharma to defend what Saifuddin Soz has said. Pankaj Sharma.
Pankaj?
Yes, please.
Pankaj, did you give it a pass? The question Niranjan threw was at you and you sort of let RP Singh take the lead.
There should not be any confusion. As far as Congress party is concerned, everyone knows that following the Supreme Court of India's December 2023 verdict upholding the abrogation of Article 370, Congress had officially stated that the debate has ended and that the judgment is now the law of the land. The Congress party explicitly chose not to seek a judicial review or demand the reinstatement of the pre-2019 constitutional provisions. So there should be no confusion on this, that what has been the Congress line on this issue for the last 2.5 years.
But Saifuddin Soz apparently does not know this.
Yeah, he's a former minister. You can't say that ye koi nahi hai, pata nahi hai.
He's a congressman.
What he is saying are his personal views. Being in Congress does not mean he cannot express his opinion on matters related to Jammu and Kashmir.
Okay, then it's even more dangerous territory. You know, I want Sushil Pandit to come in on this. Sushil Pandit, it did not stop at statehood. It went beyond. It did not stop at 370. It went beyond. It did not stop at autonomy. He brought in the Muslim Akshariyat issue that, you know, this is a Muslim majority state. We obliged India by joining in 1947, so let us have our say. He's saying this in 2026.
That's right, Abhishek. And Khud Mukhtari can be and probably is more appropriately translated into sovereignty, not autonomy. And that is even more dangerous. The problem is Saifuddin Soz is a past master at such statements. He has a history sheet of such violations. Even if Congress has taken a stand, let me remind you, he wrote a book about Kashmir's struggle. In that book, he said, given a choice, Kashmiris want independence. Now, you can say that Congress has long said that Kashmir is an inalienable part of India. But when Congress rules the country, the party makes him cabinet minister representing Kashmir. He also said when Burhan Wani was encountered and killed that we should have actually not killed him, captured him alive and found out from him as to what goes in his mind to become what he did. Now, come on. Saifuddin Soz, perhaps the senior-most leader you have in Congress, even if Congress has a stated stand.
Assembly and general elections, Congress party did not mention of restoring Article 370 from...
No, 1 minute. That's not the moot point.
Beyond that, Pankaj Sharma, what he has said is more incendiary, more provocative.
No. Okay,
in
1 second.
Election and in general elections.
1 minute.
6 months back, these are not small matters. No, these are very sensitive issues. Sorry, you cannot indulge in competitive separatism in Kashmir politics and then we say that our party has a very clear stand on these issues. Sorry, that doesn't wash.
Kashmir has also publicly clarified that since the Supreme Court's ruling, only legally and politically achievable goal is full statehood.
But he has said statehood is not the issue. 1 minute. He says statehood is not even an issue. See, it's not as innocent as that. 1 second. Sushil Panditji, it's not as innocent as that. I'll tell you what. Saifuddin Soz was one of the signatories to the letter that was written. By Indians, some Indians and Pakistanis. The pro-Pakistanis in India. The Pakistani apologists sitting in India signed that letter. He was one of them. Adil Nazir, he had asked for talks with Pakistan. He had also, while signing the letter, one of the points was we should discuss Kashmir. India and Pakistan must sit across the table and discuss Kashmir. Look at the irony. I mean, he's not said a word on POK, the atrocities in POK, the massacre in POK, the Munir army running over people. Thousands of people have died already. There's a massacre out there. The guy hasn't said a word. But you know what I find very interesting, Adil Nazir? I find the timing very interesting. That while in POK all of this is happening, it's almost as if, everything was calm here in Kashmir. The timing cannot be missed. It's almost as if somebody got a call and said, "Wahan pe bhi thoda shor macha do." I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know.
100%. Absolutely possible.
It's possible. Adil Nazir?
At the very least.
Out of nowhere a letter comes.
At the very least, trying to checkmate the NC and trying to project NC and ally as a partner which is soft pedaling its position, because NC has said earlier that they want to scrap the resolution of 2019. But the fact of the matter is, Adil, that this is clearly a case of Saifuddin Soz being absolutely provocative and incendiary insofar as the timing is concerned, as Niranjan says.
Before I start, I hope that nobody will interrupt me. Saifuddin Soz Saab is a very senior politician, and whatever he has said, it's his personal opinion. And in fact, if I talk about as a common Kashmiri, सारी पॉलिटिक्स को साइड में छोड़ के मुझे ये लगता है जम्मू कश्मीर का बच्चा एक्सेप्ट बीजेपी एंड आरएसएस के लोगों के हम चाहते हैं कि 4 अगस्त की पोजीशन वापस दी जाए। 4 अगस्त की पोजीशन जो है वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया ने ही हमें दी थी, पार्लियामेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने ही दी थी, वो किसी और देश से नहीं आई।
5 अगस्त भी तो पार्लियामेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने दिया है, वो भी तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया ने दिया है। एक मिनट, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इज अ कंटिन्यूटी, पार्लियामेंट इज अ कंटिन्यूटी। 4 अगस्त के बाद 5 अगस्त आता है। 5 अगस्त को जो हुआ वो भी पार्लियामेंट और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का हिस्सा है।
I am not going to speak. If you will do this, I will not speak then.
I just corrected you factually.
You have not corrected me. I am a student of Constitution. I know Constitution very well, more than you.
अच्छा.
And I can bet. मैं आपसे ज्यादा Constitution जानता हूँ, जितने भी आपके डिबेटर्स यहाँ बैठे हैं उनसे ज्यादा जानता हूँ Constitution पढ़ा लिखा हूँ, ऐसे ही हवा में उठ के बैठ के इधर नहीं बैठा हूँ।
चलिए बताइए।
मैं ये बात कि आप मुझे ये बोलिए कि जम्मू कश्मीर में कौन वो इंसान नहीं होगा जो ये ना चाहेगा कि मेरा रुतबा जो है, जो मेरा रुतबा 4 अगस्त को था वही रुतबा मुझे वापस मिले। हमारी इज्जत को लूट के हमें डाउनग्रेड किया गया, हमें यूनिवर्सिटी से एक प्राइमरी स्कूल बनाया गया, तो कौन नहीं चाहेगा जम्मू कश्मीर?
एक काम कीजिए, आपने बोला कि आप कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, he said I know the constitution better than all of you. I want to ask you a question, Mr. Constitution expert Adil Nazir.
You know better than me.
No, I'm asking you a question, Mr. Constitution expert. I want to ask you. You're a constitution expert. Question is to you. What does Part 12? अरे सुन लिया करी, अरे एक मिनट, सुन लीजिए भाई साहब, सुन लीजिए।
बोलिए ना, प्रियम्बल पढ़ के सुनाइए। वी द पीपल ऑफ इंडिया।
ओह माय गॉड,
जरा पढ़ो।
आप कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन एक्सपर्ट है ना, आप you Adil Nazir, you Adil Nazir is a constitutional expert.
मैं भी पढ़ूंगा।
One second, no. See, I wanted to ask him, Abhishek, by the way, while he's heckling, I wanted to ask this constitutional, थोड़ा आराम से, I wanted to ask this constitutional expert, what is Part 12 of the
preamble के आगे चले गए Adil, we are moved ahead of preamble.
Preamble is the face of Indian Constitution.
Oh,
let's read Article 12, please.
21. बताइए आप 21 के बारे में बताइए, Article 21 बताइए।
मैं आपको आर्टिकल 21
के बारे में बताइए, आर्टिकल 370
का पर्सनल लिबर्टी जनाब, राइट टू पर्सनल लाइफ।
अच्छा, वो टेररिस्ट आते हैं, वो आर्टिकल 21 फॉलो करते हैं। Those terrorists who come, the Pahalgam terrorists, they followed Article 21 of the country.
तो दे आर गेटिंग ना, जो भी उनको डिजर्व करते हैं उनको मिलता है ना, उनको कौन सपोर्ट करता है? आई एम सेइंग हियर, जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया ने दिया था, जो पार्लियामेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने दिया था, उसकी बात करें।
पार्ट 21 के बारे में सुन लीजिए आप, एक मिनट, आप प्लीज आप क्रिसमस कीजिए।
आफ्टर ऑल ही इज अ कश्मीरी। अगर आपको भी आज इस चैनल से निकाल के बाहर ग्राउंड पे बिठाएंगे, बोलेंगे जी आपकी हैसियत ये है, तो आप वो एक्सेप्ट कभी नहीं करोगे। दैट्स व्हाट हैज हैपेंड विद द पीपल ऑफ J&K.
No, one second, please. No, he's laughing. He's lying.
Adil, you are saying statehood should be restored. That's, of course,
no,
that's
he twisted. He lied. He lied. No, 1 minute.
The fight is beyond that. The 4th August position must be restored.
No. I'll tell you what. He's, Adil Nazir, you're a minority. You're a minority in Jammu and Kashmir. Let me tell you, you're a minority in Kashmir. I have been to Kashmir a couple of times after Article 370 was abrogated. Abhishek, I have been.
Who is in my minority?
Just wait, man. Don't act smart. Listen to me. People are happy. There is Tiranga and Lal Chowk. Okay? There's amazing business. Of course, because of Pahalgam, a little bit was hit. People are happy. People are thanking the government for abrogating Article 370. Please stop it. You're a minority, man. You're very small. You're one of those people who are writing that letter asking for talks with Pakistan. You're one of those people, minority, who will. Please. Then why don't you? Okay, then condemn. Let's do one thing.
Adil, we have to wrap up. Adil, there was something. Adil, listen. There was something called PEPSU, which was Patiala and East Punjab States Union. Today, PEPSU stands dissolved, and there are 3 states and 1 union territory. You know, Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh. Now, if the people say, no, go back to the PEPSU days, does it happen like that? The Parliament of India, within the framework of the Constitution of India, took some decision for PEPSU, so it took for Jammu and Kashmir. Ask the people of Ladakh, they are so happy. Earlier there used to be 2 districts, now there are 7, 32, there were 4 blocks, there are 33 blocks. People are happy that development is reaching to the grassroots. What happened to the panchayat elections never happened in Jammu and Kashmir, have happened now. But you know, you would not look at what has happened.
Okay, have to take a break. Okay, I apologize, have to take a break. We'll continue. Have to. 59, okay, we're supposed to start the next debate.
This should have been an hour-long debate.
Hour-long debate. We'll come back. Thank you very much for joining us. Okay, taking a short break now. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back at 9 p.m., we had those 2 pictures that came in. Story broken by Republic. And the picture showed left meeting CJP, left meeting China diplomats, envoys. What's going on after the break?
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, mass comm, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी.
Ready for the next big IPO? Apply for it on Grow. Open your free Demat account, check all IPO details, apply easily in a few taps. And that's it. Download Grow now for stocks, mutual funds and IPOs.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
Papa.
सॉरी यार, गलती हो गई है. ये चोट खर्चा वर्चा.
अरे लास्ट बॉल पे छक्का.
तो मुझे आए देखा मुझे अच्छा. And then he said, just follow me, okay? Turned me my back. Then I had to look back at the camera. And then आप वो ये डायलॉग ऐसा बोलो. ये बोल के पीछे चले गए. You are ready? Yes, ready. Shot start किया. I turned. And then I spoke my line. And then बोला pack up. तो कुछ बोला ही नहीं कि क्या है करके. He was calling everybody, all his friends. Then he saying the star is born. ये लड़की वो बहुत दूर जाएगी, बहुत नाम बनाएगी.
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for the debate.
All right, welcome back, friends. The Chinese connections of the Communist parties of India, both the CPI and the CPM, have been an open secret, and it's a fact of history. But in the present context, just ahead of the monsoon session of Parliament, for the Communist leadership to be visiting the Chinese embassy or attending an event there with carrying some gifts at the end of it, howsoever small, and then the same leaders to be also present at the Cockroach Janata Party protests at Jantar Mantar in New Delhi. If you connect the dots, it seems coming together of ideology and agenda. Now, if you look at what the agenda of the CJP has been, they attempted to create a Gen Z kind of protest situation in the country on the lines of what happened in Nepal and Bangladesh, of course, failed miserably. It was attempted organic, but it proved to be inert politically. But these pictures that we are now bringing out today, and there are more pictures we'll bring out during the conversation, prove a point, which is that there is an ecosystem, howsoever feeble or enfeebled, which is trying to create a narrative, a certain counter-narrative in the country going against the tide of political wisdom, which tries to project India as a difficult place, as a place where perhaps freedoms are not available. And that's why these protests, despite failing, indicate towards a plan, an ecosystem, and an echo chamber, which is not perhaps good for the country. And tonight we are focusing with this conversation on what this agenda is about.
Abhishek, what strikes us the most, or struck us the most, is how senior leaders of the left, these are not small leaders, senior leaders.
Very senior leaders.
Very senior
leaders.
Topmost leaders met the Chinese, were at the CJP. Not just that, in fact, on the ground, CJP with people like Dipke are left leaders of JNU.
Yeah.
As we speak, we have the pictures with us. They have gone to court. Interestingly, today, the left leaders have gone to court asking for all footage to be deleted.
All cameras, CCTVs to be removed.
Is that because we broke the story? They've gone to court today. We broke the story this
And they draw their inspiration from China, Ranjan, where, it's the perhaps most CCTV'd country in the world.
Yeah, and we have many questions, because if you connect the dots now, left meets China, left backs CJP, left student leaders are at the protest, and left is playing a silent role now trying to mobilize support. There's much more to what meets the eye in this story. That's why we're debating it. Take a look at the story.
The Cockroach Jantar Party protest is now under heavy scrutiny. Top left leaders were present during the protest on the 29th of June. On the 10th of July, left leaders shared the stage with Chinese officials at the embassy in New Delhi. The sequence of events has now raised fresh questions over whether there are China links to the CJP protests. Is China trying to meddle in India's internal affairs? Republic questions left leader M.A. Baby, who was present in both events, over this.
What are your China links? Sir, tell us what are your China links, sir. How does that make sense that you go to the CJP protest first and then you go to the Chinese embassy for an event? So, but please tell us. So, but this is important, sir. This is about national security. Sir, I'm not misbehaving. Sir, this is a national security issue. Sir, please tell us, sir, what are your China links? So, what are your China links, sir? How does this make sense that you go to the CJP protest first and then you go to a Chinese embassy event? So, please, sir, these are nation's questions. So, please speak to us, sir. Sir, what are your China links, sir?
The BJP, meanwhile, termed it a matter of serious concern.
If what you are saying is true, then it's very, very serious. And the media, if it's got note of this kind of linkage between the protest that is happening in Delhi and it being linked to outside countries and foreign influence, then certainly those who are participating in this meeting have much to answer.
The sequence of events has now triggered a political storm ahead of the parliament session.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we have a bigger news break. Big news break. In fact, Abhishek is breaking the story right now. We have with us pictures confirming Ratan Charda, Deepak Reddy. Ratan Charda is an author. Deepak Reddy is the national spokesperson of the TDP. Chirag Sethi is a national spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. Advocate Nikhil Jain he's an advocate backing the Congress Party. Okay, but big news break right now. We're going to publish those pictures. We have a direct link We have now a direct link. Those who met the Chinese, that is the Chinese ambassador, Abhishek, can you confirm? I'm looking at this picture.
They are on it, Niranjan.
Is that the picture? Yeah. Let's show the pictures where they're standing with the bags. You can see, I can't identify this particular leader of the SFI who's there meeting the Chinese ambassador. With the bags, we have that. Aishi Ghosh is also there with the Chinese ambassador.
Yeah.
Is that Aishi Ghosh with the Chinese ambassador?
Yes.
Aishi Ghosh with the Chinese ambassador?
Not this picture.
Not this picture. With the Chinese ambassador holding the bags, please. Let's put those pictures out. Yeah.
This one, yes.
This one. Take a look at this picture.
Yeah.
In this picture, ladies and gentlemen, this is Aishi Ghosh. Abhishek, can you confirm the third photo there is of Aishi Ghosh?
Yes.
Aishi Ghosh is of SFI.
Yes.
Formerly JNU or maybe still JNU. JNU, they don't pass out for years, right?
Yeah.
At least the student leaders. Okay. Yeah. And the last guy you see here, wearing spectacles, wearing a white shirt, I don't know his name. But the reason why this is critical is that now we'll show the next picture of them at Jantar Mantar with Dipke. Can we go to the next picture where you just showed the picture of them sitting there, circled, both Aishi Ghosh and this other leader of the SFI. And they're there. They are right there with Sonam Wangchuk and Dipke. So this is extremely interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Put a watermark on it, please. The story is broken by Republic. Pictures are only with Republic, right? No other media house will dare to break it. They're really scared. Let's put that picture out. Watermark laga do. Now, there's a problem. There is a serious problem. In fact, when we showed those pictures today, Ratan Sharda, the picture showed senior leaders, MPs. MA Baby has